Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly, Nantucket.
Oh my goodness, Russ can fly.
All right, so getting ready to jump in, Charlie here, and go flying to Nantucket. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm actually very excited for this flight. You know, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, Block Island, you know, are all these places that are just so amazing. But Nantucket seems to stand out because it makes me think of like old English gentry or something. I don't know.
Please pass the Grey Poupon.
And so, you know, to just have my ancestors watch me, you know, fly to a place that, you know, maybe they had some experience with. I'm just saying. Pre-flight is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into Charlie, you know, do my run up and all that kind of stuff. But before I go, what I'm doing now is I am doing this last walk around that somebody suggested that I do to make sure that everything is in its proper place. Also, I don't know if you guys remember this picture that I took that I posted sometime. This is that stupid sewer pipe. Ah! So yeah, so now what I'm doing is when I come out the hangar, I pull Charlie past that so I don't have to worry about running into it. So, and like I said, I'm doing this last check around just to make sure everything is cool, especially making sure that the tow bar is not on the front of the airplane. All right, so let's go on into the cockpit, go in the office, time to go to work. Let's go. All right, so in the airplane, and gonna get everything situated here. The one thing that I want to make sure is I got my seatbelt on correctly. Now, one of the things that's actually happening is the ceiling has dropped, but I think all of this is temporary, but we'll see how it plays out. Plus, I hear a King Air over there, and they're probably waiting for their departure. So my estimated time of departure is 10:30, and so I am, you know, not going to rush because now it is only 8 after 10. And that's the one thing I don't want to ever do is to rush. All right, so let me get myself situated here. It's interesting. I really don't need this knee board anymore, but I like having it because I like having all of my frequencies written down, plus all of the approach and departure frequencies as well. It's just one of those things where it just works for me, and you know, it just keeps me from, you know, feeling uncomfortable. So I'm going to take some time to get all of those frequencies written down, then we'll start the airplane, and then we'll, you know, get on our way. So I always like to do all of this before I even start the airplane. Make sure I understand frequencies and departures and all that kind of stuff. All right, see you on the other side of that. Okay, so I got everything cooking and got all my frequencies in. Everything is looking good. And so we're going to go ahead and get this engine started. All right, everything's looking good. Clear prop. Starts right on up. All right, so now I've got to get my flight plan here. Golf, Oscar, November, yep. And then we've got, this is an interesting waypoint. Kilo, uniform, and then to Nantucket. Kilo, Alpha, Charlie. All right, so one of the things that I'm gonna try to do is on climb out, I'm gonna use the autopilot. Gonna turn the autopilot on and hit indicated airspeed and basically climb out on an indicated airspeed of about 105. And so here I'm going to do my altitude select, and as you can see the numbers are going up. We're going to select 5,500. All right, let's check our brakes. brakes are good. All right, let's taxi on out. So if you look out there straight ahead, see how there's like just these little clouds kind of hanging down? So we'll just have to be mindful of some of that. Yep, so just taxiing on out. And again, over here, you see I have the grass on the left side here, and hangers on the right. Run up looks good. All right, pre-takeoff, flaps as required. Mixture is gonna stay full rich. Trim is neutral, set for takeoff. Fuel pump is going to come on. Taxi landing light is going to come on. Pitot heat as required, we don't need it. Transponder, all looks good. My flight plan is in. Lights as required, my taxi landing light is on. And everything looks good. So we're gonna wait for this plane to clear.
Doylestown traffic, White Skyhawk 226, clear of runway 23, Doylestown traffic.
All right, we're gonna call and get on out of here. Doylestown traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, departing runway 23 out to the northeast, Doylestown. All right, everything is good. All right, let's go on up. Final is clear.
And I always check to make sure that final is clear. And as I'm pulling up, making sure that, you know, that the airfield is clear as well.
And the field is clear. All right, let's come on up, make our turn. I already see and confirm 2-3 on the field. I've got 2-3 on my indicator, 2-3 on the compass. All right, good, very good. Hills to the floor, full power. All right, engine instruments in the green. Pressure, temperature, all look good. Airspeed is coming alive.
And airspeed alive just means that we're picking up speed.
Getting on that right rudder. 65, and rotate.
For my non-pilot peeps, when I say rotate, that just means we're taking off. You're rotating from the wheels being on the pavement, and you're basically, you know, on your takeoff roll, to rotating to being in the air. And it's a feeling that will never get old.
Doylestown traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, left crosswind, runway 23, Doylestown. All right, taxi landing light can come off, fuel pump can come off, and let's get some down trim. And Doylestown traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, left downwind departure to the northeast, last call, Doylestown. All right, so autopilot, gonna do indicated airspeed, 105. All right, we're climbing up to 3,500 feet. All right, taxi landing lights off, fuel pump is off, going up to 5,500. You can see my autopilot is set for nav mode, and we're about to pick up the magenta line, and we're climbing out at 5,000 feet per minute, up to 5,500. All right, so I'm going to put in Tweed approach because I just want to be listening for that. 124 075. Enter. Let's switch. All right, so we are at our altitude, pitch and power. I actually got to close these vents. They're a little brisk. Don't get to say that too often. All right, so we're going to go to the left tip. Do that for half an hour. So we'll do 10 minutes here, and then at 10 minutes, and I'm using this timer basically for all my fuel changes. So right now we are burning off of the right main. At 10 minutes, which is in 1 minute, I'm going to go over to the left tip, and we'll be on there for a half an hour. So I'm trying to, you know, give you some more cockpit. That was one of the things that I got from folks. So we're in cruise, taxi landing light is off, fuel pump is off for now, but in about 30 seconds, going to turn that off and do the fuel pump thing. So one of the requests I got was to do more, you know, showing you more in the cockpit here. This camera does some, but it's, you know, it doesn't get as close, but I will, you know, zoom in. And so, yeah, so I'm just going to be listening to kind of New Haven, Connecticut area approach. Just going to be looking at some of these clouds. Most of this is probably going to burn off for the most part, but for right now, you know, there's some clouds I need to be mindful of. All right, so we are cruising out nicely. As you can see, my ground speed is 123 knots. We are 13.1 gallons. Oh, time to switch. See, it's at 10 minutes. Okay, so hold on. I'll do that stuff. Let's switch. All right, so fuel pump is going to come on. I'm looking at my fuel pressure. We're going to go over to the left tip detent. I feel it. Fuel pressure is still good. Left tip detent, fuel pressure. Fuel pump can come off. Fuel pressure is good. All right, so we're going to be on that. We're going to be on that until we hit 40 minutes on the flight timer. All right, so back to what I was saying. So 123 knots over the ground. We're burning about 13.4 gallons right now. And let's see, true airspeed 122 knots, so it pretty much matches. And then indicated 112 and ground speed 123. Outside air temperature is 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are currently cruising at 5,500 feet. And so now what I do basically at this point, I'm just monitoring everything, making sure everything is good, specifically engine temperatures, things like that. I'll pull it back just a smidge more. Yep, so we are good. And so, you know, I can never do the math, but so 123 knots over the ground, you multiply 123 knots times 1.15.
382 Takata Trinidad and CV21. Off at speed.
That equals 141,573. So I'm going 141, or if you round up because of the 0.5, 142 miles per hour. Not too shabby. And right now you can see I am flying this track. I am just about to the Spruce Run Reservoir, which I can see out here on my left. And these triangles here is traffic. So that airplane is -21, which means it is minus 2,100 feet. That one is minus 2,500 feet. And so, and if you look out straight ahead, nobody's out there. So that's pretty much what I do. I do use this as a backup so I can see. I also get indications over here. You see the same thing with the triangles, but I get more information in terms of my desired track and how I'm flying, that kind of stuff. And so that's pretty much all how it works. And when you fly commercially, it's the same thing. They basically get up to their altitude, they set their autopilot, and they do a lot of monitoring just to make sure everything is cool. And so that's what I am, that's what I'm about the business of doing. Just looking out here to look for traffic, just in case something is not showing up in here. So I can make sure I got both of those connected. And, you know, just monitoring the engine temps and all of that kind of stuff. And so that is pretty much it. Now what's cool is I can monitor here, but I can also kind of look forward to seeing what's happened here. And people are saying, well, why aren't you getting flight following? And I should, but sometimes I'd like to basically just do my own thing, my rugged individualism. Plus, I like to talk to you guys. This time I have some time, I'm not in a rush. So as you can see, I'm flying this line, avoiding all of that. So when I use this flight plan, I usually don't, you know, get flight following. When I've flown the more southern route, I always get flight following, especially as I'm going through all of that Class Bravo airspace. So our first waypoint, Greenwood Lake Airport for November 1. And let's see where we are to it. I like this little magic ruler you can do. About 14 minutes, 31.2 nautical miles until we get to our first waypoint. And so that's the beginning of flying. So now at this point, like I said, just monitoring, making sure everything is cool, looking for traffic out here, and then sometimes just enjoying the view. And the thing that the platform like Charlie allows me to do is really to save some of my energy with this amazing, amazing autopilot. As you can see, I'm going up here, there's some clouds ahead of me, so I'm going to have to make sure that I'm mindful of that. So one of the things that's cool about the autopilot is I can change my heading. Actually, let's sync this right now. I can change my heading and change the heading bug to move to a different direction. So some little tiny clouds here and there, but we'll see what that looks like once we get closer. So it's definitely a lot smoother than yesterday. And so I don't know if I remember telling you guys, but yeah, there are flights that I have done because I get to fly more. I get to fly when I want to. So there's some days where I don't put any cameras in, and I just fly. Especially if it's like something quick, a little bit of chop, and also I'm able to plug my stuff in, and I love having that too. Just all these little creature comforts. So one thing I have to be mindful of in this corridor is there's always a lot of commercial traffic in this area. Just have to always be mindful of that.
Cherokee 90544 Charlie, level of 6,500.
And again, I'm just monitoring this frequency, which is an approach closer to Connecticut, just to make sure everything is good, and just looking out here for traffic. And as you can see, we're getting closer to those clouds. We'll see what that does. Looks like, from what I can tell, we're going to be under them. I see traffic off to my distance out here to the right. Not too worried about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep flying and talking to you guys until we get to this first waypoint here. So you can see this is where we are, the little airplane. And we're going to make this turn here at Greenwood Lake. Once we make that turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, turn the cameras off and just keep doing my work here. And I'll come back to you once we're within 50. Or probably before that, because some of that flying is just so pretty as you get up there, Martha's Vineyard and stuff. So, all right. So we're just gonna, keep on flying out. So I'm turning my heading a little bit because you can see there's a cloud out there. So I turned into heading mode just to give myself some space. I'm gonna do a little bit more of a turn, just to give myself some space from that cloud. And then once I get past it, then I can go back into nav mode, and it'll take me back to my track up here. So you can see I'm off my track just a little bit. Now we are back on our heading, and I gotta be mindful of these clouds above me too. I might have to descend a little bit, but we'll see. All right, so we are, looks like about 3 minutes or so before we hit our waypoint. And so once it hits the waypoint, then the nav will shift, and I'll try to catch that countdown. And then you'll see the autopilot will then shift us more from northeast to more east. Man, that is so gorgeous down there. Heavenly Father, you make such beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning. And I thank you, Father, for allowing me to see your beautiful creation from this perspective. Truly, truly a blessing. Definitely don't take it for granted. Okay, so we are getting closer here to our first turn. 6.5 nautical miles. It has me 2 minutes. I keep looking over here, man, because this is that's just beautiful over there. Just so beautiful. All right, so I'm really paying attention to the distance. I have it here on my primary and on my backup, so I can make sure I show you this turn. Look at this out here. Look at how beautiful that is out there. That is amazing. That is so gorgeous. All right, so we are getting ready to make this turn pretty soon. Now, what's going to be interesting is it's going to look like it's flying past it, but here we go. Right to 095 and 87, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then here comes the turn. And now you can see the plane turning out to 095. So we have about 190 nautical miles left in the trip. I got another 5 minutes on my left tip. I'll be going over to my right tip and be on that for 30 minutes. But for now, what I'm going to do is shut the cameras down, be about my business of staying on top of everything, and you know, we're going to continue to fly on out. So that's it for now. And like I said, I'll be back on the other side with you. Definitely just wanted to give you this last look as we cross over the Hudson River from New Jersey into Nueva York, NY, the Big Apple. So I will see you guys on the other side, and we will be seeing more of God's beautiful creations. So thankful to be able to see it. Okay, see you on the other side. Okay, I'm back with you, and you can look out here. Oh man, this is just gorgeous. Look at how beautiful this is. And so we're about 67 nautical miles out. We're going to be going up here, and it's going to go up. I'm going to go up to an airport called Newport State, or Uniform. And then we'll be turning a little southeast, and we'll be getting on the ground. So it's scheduled to be on the ground at 12:30.
Charlie, turn
it is currently 2 after 12, so we are making our way there.
Around 132.5.
And so I'm going to put in ground here, so I can be ahead of the airplane. 132.
Ground 132.5. No delay to the end.
132.5
to the end.
132.5. Okay, so runway 24.
Brickyard 4367. Turn right at the end. Contact ground.
And what's going to be interesting? We're going to be flying over Martha's Vineyard. And so, as you can see, man, this is just, it's so picturesque. This area up here is extremely boat heavy. I mean, there's just boats everywhere. And as you can see, I showed some of these pictures I took with my phone, trying to give you more perspectives on stuff happening. And yeah, I mean, just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So we're going to be turning here pretty soon. We're still kind of headed like northeast. All right, so we're turning right. We're going to be making this right turn here. Okay, there he is, traffic in sight. And look at this turn, look at this beautifulness. Look at this beautifulness. Look at this, look at this. I'm just looking at this other traffic over here. And if you look right out here, you see this first little island. That is Cuddy Hunk. So that first little island, like right off the nose at 12 o'clock. And then, so there's two, right? Those two islands, that's Cuddy Hunk. And then the next big one past that, that's Martha's Vineyard. And then on the other side of that, which I can already see, is Nantucket. All right, so these lines, so this is Buzzards Bay out here, and again, you got the Pask Island, Cuddy Hunk. Yeah, so Buzzards Bay, and so these smaller islands, Pask Island, Cuddy Hunk, and then that bigger island, that's Nantucket. And then if you can, I don't know if the cameras are going to pick it up, but off in the distance there is going to be Nantucket. Nantucket! Nantucket! Oh my gosh.
Nantucket Tower, good speed 436.
And yes, I do realize how blessed I am to be able to get to do this. And so I think what I'm going to do
is, so see this little island here? Again, that one right there in front of us is Cuddy Hump.
Right, 270
So I think as I get there, I'm gonna start.
JetBlue 1351, fly runway heading, runway 24,
Scratch that.
takeoff.
Once I get up there to Martha's Vineyard proper, I'll begin my descent. And we are northwest of the field, inbound for a full stop landing. Nantucket Tower, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, Nantucket Tower, November 1541 Charlie, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, information Oscar, about 10 miles northwest of the field, inbound for a full stop landing. So sometimes I just practice because I don't want to be rushing. I get tongue-tied. And one of the things that I am comfortable with is just talking slow. I'm not going to try to talk like these airline pilots that can say 3,000 words per second.
JetBlue 1351, turn right.
I'm a pilot,
270, contact departure.
but I don't have to be like other pilots.
270 over departure.
I don't have to speak fast like them, so that's what works for me. So just remember, information Oscar, northwest of the field. And so maybe you're seeing clearer now. That bigger island, that is Martha's Vineyard. And actually, I see the airport. So if you see the island there in the middle, see that like blank spot? That is the airport. Wow, that's gorgeous. All right, so we are currently flying over Martha's Vineyard. And like I said, right in the middle there is the airport. And yep, wifey and I have made this flight before. Getting ready to start a descent here. So let's go down to 3,500. So I got 3,500 in. And now I will do vertical speed. And we'll go down 500 feet a minute. And I'll pull a little bit of power here. And as you can see, you can really see the airport now. Right out the front there. Flying right over the airport there. And then you can just see that line of beaches off of Martha's Vineyard there. And then on the other side is Nantucket. So, island hopping. Alright, so we're not ready for pre-landing yet, but we're going to be getting close. So, again, this is the edge of Martha's Vineyard here. We're at 3,500. We're about to leave Martha Vineyard Airport airspace, and we're going to be going over here to Nantucket. And I think I heard him say something about the right shore here for a right downwind, which would definitely make sense. Nantucket Tower, Cherokee 1541 Charlie.
Cherokee 1541 Charlie, Nantucket Tower.
Nantucket Tower, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, information Oscar. I'm about 15 northwest of the field, inbound for a full stop landing.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, fly the northern shoreline, enter right base runway 24, say altitude.
Altitude currently 3,500. We'll be descending to 2,500 shortly and fly to North Shore for a right downwind for runway 24, 41 Charlie.
Cherokee 41 Charlie will be a right base for runway 24.
Right base, runway 24, 41 Charlie.
Taxiway Echo.
All right, fuel pump is on. Taxi landing light is on. I'm on the left tank, 2,500.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, your traffic to follow is a Super Cub currently at your 11 to 12 o'clock. 3 miles altitude indicates 1,000.
All right, be looking for that traffic for 41 Charlie. All right, so I see the airport there.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, fly suggested heading 060, I'll call your base.
060, you'll call my base for 41 Charlie.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, turn base.
Turn base, 41 Charlie.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, turn final, number 2, following a Super Cub, 1 mile final, altitude indicates 600, runway 24, clear land.
41 Charlie, runway 24, clear to land, number 2. We're high. Don't overspeed those flaps.
Now, normally at this point, I would say cue the music, and you can see the runway in front of me and landing in Nantucket. But an interesting thing happens to me. This is the first time this has ever happened. Just listen to this play out. It caught me off guard.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, cancel your landing clearance, turn right. Flight suggested heading 330.
Cancel landing, turn right, 330.
JetBlue 2352, number 1, runway 24, clear to land.
Alright, 24 clear to land, JetBlue 2352, appreciate it.
Yeah.
And as you can hear, they kicked me out of the way to let this JetBlue come in, number 1. Yeah, that sucks.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, continue in the right turn to rejoin a right downwind runway 24.
Alright, continue right turn for right downwind runway 24. 41 Charlie.
And like I said, I've never experienced anything like this before. And it was interesting, you know, it's like, of course, I'm coming into Nantucket. Of course they would kick me out of the way. Shoo fly. Man, you guys suck.
Alright, so I got forced to do a go around. There's this jet behind me.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, now number 3, follow a Sirius. At your 2 o'clock, he's on a 4-mile final, altitude indicates 1,000.
Alright, I'll be number 3 from runway 24 behind the Sirius number 3, 41 Charlie.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, do you have the Sirius in sight?
Looking for traffic for 41 Charlie.
Roger. Cherokee 41 Charlie, continue on the downwind instead. I'm going to have you number 3 now behind King Air.
Okay, continue on the downwind. I'll be number 3 behind the King Air for 41 Charlie.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, your traffic to follow is turning a 6-mile final. At your 2 o'clock, 3 miles altitude indicates 1,600.
Alright, I'll be looking for traffic for 41 Charlie.
Cherokee 41 Charlie, turn base.
41 Charlie, turn base, and I've got that traffic in sight for 41 Charlie.
Roger.
Yeah, I got vectored around a bunch of people.
Okay, after getting vectored around and, you know, pushed behind some other bigger aircraft, I finally got my landing clearance. So now we can cue the music. Come on, let's land at Nantucket, finally. And so after a long taxi, you see that cart there? They're actually waiting for me. I was like, oh wow, this cart is actually waiting for me. Like, yeah, this is Nantucket. Just saying. I mean, lifestyles of the rich and famous. And if only knew, brothers broke. And so after I got everything shut down, you see me pushing Charlie back to get her in position. And so, you know, let's go explore Nantucket. And I still can't believe this cart was waiting for me. And I was parked near all these jets. Like, look at that plane out there in front of me. Look where I was parked. I mean, yeah, this was Nantucket's different. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so let's check this place out. So I just checked in. And I'm good, but let's go up and see what the pilot's lounge looks like. And of course, you got to do this kind of stuff, right? That's the whole point. All right, so this is the pilot's lounge. But yeah, so I was right out there. You can see a bunch of private jets, Pilatuses, lots of turboprops. And what's really interesting about this airport is exactly what I expected in terms of landing and like the whole experience in terms of coming in. Lots of private jets, lots of like, you know, hustle and bustle, very like important seeming people. So it's definitely very interesting. So I am going to get myself situated to see where I can get something to eat and all that kind of stuff. All right, so that's on the menu. Okay, so I'm in the parking lot and just waiting for my Uber to come or Lyft or whatever. Gonna check out this like seafood restaurant. I figured if I'm here, I might as well check out some cool seafood restaurant, right? And I got a taste for some oysters. So just waiting for my rideshare person to come. And yeah, Now I will say, flying into Nantucket, that landing was like really a trip. I had to like keep my speed up. Definitely felt nervous, and as you can see, he vectored me around. King Air got behind me, a jet got behind me, and he was just like, nope, I want you back out. So anyway, just gonna wait for the lift, and we'll go get some food. Okay, I'm here. So this amounts to what seems to be almost kind of like downtown Nantucket. It's absolutely fabulous. So I got to try to find this restaurant that I want to go to. Seafood restaurant. Got to go to a seafood restaurant since I'm on an island. I mean, and I got oysters in my future. So let's go find this restaurant. My Uber driver was awesome. He gave me all kinds of great suggestions. So we're gonna check this place out. Nantucket. Okay, so I got to go straight down. I'm going to this place called Crew. C-R-U. And yeah. And as you can see, I'm just like kind of like on this wharf. So gonna go straight down here, and if something else catches my eye, I may go there. But you know, definitely a place that I actually decided to come to. So welcome to Nantucket. Lots of wharf stuff happening. Lots of boats. The air is like so good smelling. It's like amazing. And man, like you can just smell like the salt water and all that kind of stuff. If you are anywhere in the Northeast and you fly, you gotta come to Nantucket. Now, here's one of the things I will tell you. There's a lot, since it's summer and it's August, heavy vacation time, you're gonna be dealing with a lot of big iron. There was a lot of, I saw very few general aviation aircraft, and the ones that I did see, they were all Cirruses of some variety. But yeah, so just be ready for some really big airplanes. So that's the one cautionary tale. All right, so I see Crew. Gonna see if I can come in here, grab a seat, get some food, and I'll see you on the other side of that. Okay, so I tried to do Crew. Crew is packed. It's like not happening. So I'm going to suggest something. If you're going to come here, you better make a reservation, because this place is beyond packed. So that's a bust. We'll try to see if we can't find something else. But definitely a nice spot. I mean, you can see there's like boats and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, that place is packed. So let's see if we can find somewhere else to eat that won't take like 2 days to get in there. And yeah, it's funny, this place has this very interesting feel to it. I can't put my finger on it yet, but it feels very New England, if that makes any sense to you. Definitely not, you can tell you're not in the Midwest when you come here, let's just put it that way. But yeah, that restaurant Crew, very packed. So we're gonna go away from this dock, see if I can't find something a little more reasonable in terms of, because I got up there, they were like, you gotta wait for an hour just to sit at the bar. I'm like, no, can't do. All right, so let's see what we got. We'll just walk around and find somewhere else to eat. All right, so I ended up getting a sandwich from this place behind me called Provisions. And that seemed to be kind of like the quickest choice, so that I had to spend like too much time. Definitely one of those things about Nantucket is, I think this isn't one of those places to do a day trip. It doesn't have day trip vibes. This is more, hardcore touristy types of thing. Okay, so what did I land on? So I have a curry chicken salad sandwich. Seems pretty good, so we'll see how it tastes. But yeah, if you come, and especially this time of year, definitely know that very, very touristy. So gonna eat my sandwich, walk around a little bit, and then get back to Charlie. But definitely thank you guys for all your support. I can't believe, I still can't believe, and I will never forget, or I think it'll never become real to me that I get to do this stuff, fly to Nantucket for the day. So anyway, gonna finish my sandwich and do some walking around. All right, one of the things that's interesting I'm noticing about Nantucket is that it kind of has this Boston Wharf feel. Like if you've ever been to Boston, you'll know what I'm talking about, where you can kind of walk out, then you can do like a left or a right, and then walk down, and then a left or a right, and then walk up. I mean, it has that same kind of feel to it. And as you can see, there's some pretty amazing boats in this dock. I just want to bring your attention to this bazillion-dollar gray yacht over there. So that's where I was when I was trying to get into that restaurant, and I think that's crew. So that's the end of that pier there. And so you can imagine like what that's like, trying to get into that restaurant with these like yachts and stuff. But yeah, this place is just, you know, yacht heaven. All right, seems like once you get away from the wharfs, where like wharves, however you say that, can't say that word, whatever, wherever the boats are, once you get away from that, it's kind of like more like, you know, like a downtown type of feel. Lots of stores, lots of shops. Of course, it wouldn't be remiss without a liquor store. But yeah, this has more of a, you know, of a downtown shops type of feel to it. But definitely a place where, you know, like I said, I wish I had more time. Yeah, Nantucket, like Martha's Vineyard, those aren't day trips. Those are ones that you want to definitely take some time, you know, take a couple days, check out the place. But even though Nantucket is pretty small, you definitely want to take an opportunity to have a couple days where you can just kind of hang out and check the place out. So at any rate, that's pretty much some of the where the boats are, downtown shops, people walking around type of thing. Pretty cool. But like I said, definitely has more of a Martha's Vineyard type of feel to it, as opposed to Block Island. Block Island was just amazing just because of the way you travel around. It just seemed to be a lot less cars. All right, so that's it for this. I'm going to try to make my way back to the airport, get back in the airplane, head back to Philadelphia. But this is a pretty cool little place, so definitely come check it out. All right, good people, so that's Nantucket. And if you were wondering what Nantucket is like, this is what Nantucket is like. I mean, oh my gosh, you know, a lot of money driving around in this place, a lot of money floating in them harbors, a lot of money. It's been a fantastic experience. You can see this is like a serious airport. And so yeah, it's going to even be interesting just getting out of here. So anyway, I thank you all for supporting my journey. It has been amazing, and having Charlie in my life has just made it that much richer. So I thank you guys for flying to Nantucket with me, and it's been a blast. So anyway, Russ can fly. That's it. I'm out. Peace.